What's going on, everybody? K to the 2 here with week 9 of the NPL. This week we're going up against Toge and the Portland Timburrs. His description will be down below. Please go check him out. He's one of my best friends here in the league, and he really deserves your guys' support as he does a great job. He has a beautiful voice to listen to, as Zero once said. Anyway, this week we are going up against Portland Timburrs, as I already said. They have a really threatening team, including one non that completely wrecks me and star me, another one that can run through any team at any given time and superior, and just a multitude of other threats that we have to prepare for. So in order to do that, I decided to sit down, make a team, and I'll go ahead and go over the game plan right now. So, looking at the game plan for this week, number 1, we are going with hyper offense. I am bringing 6 threats. I wanted to make sure that I could run through his team and get ahead of him as soon as possible, because if I can do that, I can possibly set up with Mega Scizor. So that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing 3 choice mons, a super effective berry, and an assault vest mon, as well as my Mega Scizor, like I said. So 2 Scarfers, the specs, Rotom, of course, gonna find my way to break through his team as soon as possible, and then possibly find a window to set up, because otherwise I'm not really going to be able to. Next bullet right here, as we can see, is kill Starmie. We need to get rid of Starmie as soon as possible, because if I can do that, since it wrecks my team, it'll save me a whole lot of trouble later in the match. Wow, I can't speak. So in order to do that, we are going to go ahead and bring a choice Scarf Adamant Honchkrow. Honchkrow is powerful enough in order to OHKO a Starmie just with Brave Bird. So if I slap a Scarf on it, I can bring it in on it, it'll outspeed him, and he's probably going to think, oh, he can go for the Sucker Punch or the Pursuit, but I'm just going to click Brave Bird and it'll kill if I get that situation. If not, if he somehow doesn't bring it, I still have a Choice Specs Rotom which can deal with it somehow. Not really, it doesn't appreciate taking a Side Shock, but it can, and that's what matters. Lastly, we have Sweep with Mega Scizor. I'm bringing a Sword Stance set, and if I can get a chance to set up a Sword Stance, I'm going to take it and go ahead and sweep his team after it's been worn down. The fact that I don't have a whole lot of switch-ins this week makes it just that much tougher on me, because I need to make sure that I make every play count. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get right into the team preview. So, taking a look at the team I brought, you can already tell I am bringing the Choice Scarf Honchkrow. I am bringing Assault Vest Sap Sipper Azumarill this week. Sap Sipper is for the counter to Superior, because Superior cannot touch a Sap Sipper Azumarill, because Sap Sipper and, the grass and, and then it usually runs Dragon Pulse, but it can't hit Fairy types, and unless he's running Hidden Power Electric, he cannot, or Poison, he can't touch Azumarill. But however, since I do have the Scizor and the Skarmory, I am predicting him to bring Hidden Power Fire. So Azumarill is my number 1 switch into Superior. Next up, we are bringing a Sword Stance Mega Scizor. Like I said earlier, I think it's Sword Stance with Roost, Bug Bite and Sword Stance, Bug Bite and Bullet Punch. After a Sword Stance, it's going to be able to hit Milotic very hard. I think it does around 66 to 75%, if I remember the calc off the top of my head. I know it's been a couple weeks since the match happened. It's going to do a whole lot of damage to the Togekiss, the Hydreigon, and the Superior. Next up, I am bringing Dragalge, Dragalge is a Berry. It is my counter to Hydreigon. I was kind of iffy on whether he was going to bring Hydreigon or not. And I debated on whether to bring the Payappa or the Berry, because then I could use it to deal with Starmie. However, I did feel like he was going to bring the Hydreigon, so I could safely bring the Berry. I can live a Draco Meteor if it goes for it and kill it, return KO it with my own Draco Meteor. Next up, I am bringing Choice Specs Rotom with Volt Switch, Thunderbolt, Trick, and the Signal Beam. Signal Beam was there to hit the Celebi in case he brought it. It also hits most of his mons super effectively with the Starmie, the Hydreigon, and the Superior, who want to come in and take a Volt Switch or a Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt from Choice Specs Rotom Modest does a hell of a lot to my low deck. I don't remember the exact calc, but I think if it's around 80%, I have a chance to kill. Lastly, I'm bringing Choice Scarf, Infernape. Kinda need the Choice Scarf on Infernape in order to outspeed Starmie and Superior. Looking back, I probably should have made it Adamant Scarf, but instead I am Jolly Scarf. So we will see how that comes into play, and let's go ahead and get right into the match. So looking at his team, I do decide that Rotom Wash is my best lead because it matches up well against most of his mons. The only thing I can possibly see being able to take it out in one hit would be a Starmie with Energy Ball or a Hydreigon with Specs Draco Meteor, or even Scarf probably too. So I'm going to do that. He leads off with Bisharp. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Volt Switch, and he right off the bat can tell that I'm Specs based on that damage. Right here he's going to be able to set his rocks up, and not really wanting to set up this early, I'm just going to go for the safe Bug Bite because I do outspeed possibly if he's not running Jolly, and I'm going to be able to hit the Milotic as it switches in. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to Mega Evolve, get it off early, that way I can take any hits if I really need to. So Bug Bite is going to do a hefty chunk to this Milotic. Not too much to write home about. I'm just kidding, that does 40%. That's way more than I thought it would. So he's basically forced to either recover or go for Scald here. I'm going to take that as a chance to go into my Rotom, take some rocks damage, but he's not going to want to stay in on this recover. Doesn't have any ground types on his team this week, so I am free to fire off a Specs Volt Switch as he withdraws. Possibly going to go right out into his Bisharp. That's exactly what he does, sacking it off early because it really doesn't, looking at the rest of my team, does not do a whole lot against the rest of my team. So right here I'm going to make a switch out into Dragalge, hoping that he's going to switch into into his Hydreigon. However, he's going to make the other switch in that he possibly had, which was Starmie. Right here, I didn't want to risk him going for an Ice Beam since it hits Dragalge and Honchkrow. I didn't want to switch Honchkrow in on an Ice Beam as he goes for the Psyshock, which Analytic Psyshock is going to be able to knock out Rotom. Unfortunate, however, I do have ways to deal with Togekiss should I need to, as well as Milotic. So right here, like I said in the game plan, I can go ahead and take this thing out with a Brave Bird. He thought I was going to stay in and go for the, he predicted me to go for the Pursuit, and so he stayed in. Regardless of the situation, I am able to knock him out, get my Moxie, and now he only has one switch in because everything else on his team will die to a Brave Bird at this point. He has to go into Milotic. It's going to do 75% to this Milotic. Yeah, 75. That does so much damage. He's just going to go ahead and knock me out with the Ice Beam. That's a good play because now Honchkrow is no longer here. And, well, he could have gone for Scald as well, but no point in doing so. Right here, I am going to make the switch into Mega Scizor. And instead of going for the Sword Stance, I'm going to go for the Bug Bite because I think he's going to stay in and go for a Dragon Tail to stop me from setting up. So going for Bug Bite is indeed my best play. My loaded goes down, so that's good. That's going to clear the way for Mega Scizor and anything else later in the match. Right here, I predict him to switch out, and I'm just gonna go ahead and go for the Bullet Punch. I didn't necessarily predict him to switch out, but I predicted him to go for the whatchamacallit. Right here, he goes for the Hidden Power Fire, and it knocked me out. Why did I stay in? Well, let's go ahead and tell a little story right now. So the Pokemon Showdown Calc. Pokemon Showdown Calc, when you go to it, the first superior set and the only superior set that comes up is a dual screens superior that is calm with a whole lot of bulk and leftovers. So in order to do a calc, you have to go in, change it from a bulky set, change all the CVs to 252 modest with a life orb, and calc Hidden Power Fire. Now, I went in, did all the calcs, and saw that at a max, it does 86%, and I was sitting at 88% after only taking one rock switch in. So Mega Scizor could live that. However, I forgot to put the life orb on. What I'm saying is the Showdown Calc should have a way to get around that, such as an actual superior set that people use. Superior was able to knock me out 100% of the time with the life orb. However, since I didn't calc that correctly, yeah, that's what happened. If I was able to get that up, if he didn't have life orb, even if he was expert belt, it would have killed. I just blanked. It was really unfortunate because I lost the game at that point. There was absolutely nothing I could do. I had the free switch in to Sap Sipper Azumarill, I know, and it's my fault for not making the switch. However, even though I had made up my mind to stay in, because I saw that my best play was going out into Azumarill, I would have gotten a free power-up punch, putting me basically at -1 from a regular Azumarill, and I would have been able to deal with this Togekiss better. Togekiss is basically just going to win the game now for him, and there was nothing I could do about it after that. So yeah, I'm going to lose this game 1-0. You can see right here that the Hobbenberry worked, and Infernape's Flare Blitz is going to do a whole lot, but since I'm not adamant, I'm not going to be able to knock him out. The burn would help if he would miss an Air Slash, but he doesn't, and he's going to be able to knock me out. So that is going to be the game. I lose 1-0 to a 1-0, mind you, with his Togekiss at 15% burned. So I'd say that was a really, really close match. Either way, I lost. It was my fault for not doing the calc correctly. Oh well. Lose 1-0. Can't win them all. We're sitting after this week at 7-2. 7-2, and I don't remember the differential. It'll pop up on the screen. Anyway, that was a great game. Thank you, Toge. Again, check him out. I want to thank Danza for recording this match for me, as well as getting my mons for me. I also want to thank Zeke, as always, for hooking me up with such amazing artwork for these battle videos. I honestly can't thank him enough for how good all this looks. Next week, week 10, we are going up against the New York Tangs. Make sure to check that one out, and I will see you guys next time.